What are you
Curious
curious
about
about in
everything.
society?
So,
Yeah. Narrow it, narrow the focus.
in society,
Yeah.
hmm. I think like it always goes back down to perception somehow. Kind of what that the stem of where that desire kind of stems from, like for certain things. Like you ever sit and think to yourself, why you're into, why you're naturally drawn to the things that you are, why certain people are drawn to you, why you're drawn to them. That interests me a lot.
Mm.
Because there's not always like a clear indication of why you feel drawn to a person, you know. You may have certain similarities, maybe you like certain things as that person, but I don't even think that's necessarily enough because there are so many other people that may like what you like or do the things you do, but yet you don't feel like drawn to them. You know what I mean? I feel like we've all had that experience in life where we just feel drawn to someone in a way that it like supersedes just the natural way of things. Like you don't really have an explanation for it, but you just feel like I know this person in some sort of way. Like I'm meant to know you. Like I'm meant to be your
Yeah.
friend. Like you're meant to be in my life. Things like that in society are interesting to me. Why some people just come together and sometimes it's like a pairing you would never expect. That's always really interesting to me. Um, I think even just looking at the world and what's going on politically, oh, we don't need to get into politics, but all of that's interesting. We're
Yeah.
not gonna do that, but all of that's really interesting. I think that anything that has to do with kind of like tribalism and very set, rigid ways of thinking and like dividing people is very interesting too. Um, and how people create that and also how they break free from that is interesting to me and how that's shaped, how that perception is kind of shaped.
How do you
That's
feel
really
people break
interesting.
from that?
Yeah, some people do break from that though. Some people do. Like I
But
think
how
that
then?
a sense of nationalism and things of that nature is ingrained in society, you know, because it's like people want to act like it's crazy, but it's not crazy to feel a sense of pride necessarily for yourself or for a certain for your people or any of that. Pride is a
Yeah.
natural emotion and a natural thing. But I think that when it supersedes into a kind of more like elitist, tribalistic way of thinking where it's no longer like I just feel pride in myself or whatever. It's more so I feel distinctly different from you. And because I other you and you're this other, I must like keep you away, like
Yeah,
shun you away.
the
The
othering
the
thing. Yeah, I think
othering
about that
is
quite a
the
bit.
interesting part, right? Like that othering is so interesting and why it's so pronounced. And a lot of times, I think for people to break free from that, there usually has to be something that like shatters the perception, something in their face, in front of them, that specifically challenges the perception and can't be ignored. So it's like you can't say that the way you've always viewed it persists if you're seeing in front of your eyes, here is a case where that's not true. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
with something
Yeah.
that just completely breaks, like shatters that worldview. Um, and and sometimes, maybe sometimes it's broken by having it flipped onto oneself. Maybe if you've been othering and then you become othered, you're like, why am I othered now? That also could shift the
It's
perception.
an interesting label, yeah.
Like, why am I othered?
Yeah.